everyone, today I'll be reviewing this movie dropped on Netflix called Hunt, and this movie came out in theater last year though, but now it is on Netflix. And this movie it is kind of like a spy thriller, the story between South Korea and North Korea, and that centers around these two spy. So I'm probably gonna pronounce this name wrong, but I think the lead actor, he's from a Squid Game, and I thought he was really good in this movie. When I saw him in a poster, I was like, oh, I know him from Squid Game. That is the reason I checked it out, and I thought this movie was quite interesting. Story about spy thriller. These two spy centers around that. It goes back and forth, and there's a lot of twist and turn, a lot of conspiracy, and lot of story going on. First act for this movie, I must say, the first act is quite intense. The way it starts, I was like, whoa, this movie, it is, especially the story itself, it's quite dense. So overall, I actually liked this movie a lot. But I'm gonna say about this movie is this, but this movie still is for people who enjoy like multiple twist and turn, and like a lot of twist every corner of this movie. Those are a lot of torture scene. Some of the action scenes are quite good, and the acting is actually like really good. I'll say the acting is the most impressive here because the actors are really good, all of them. Especially two lead actors, they were absolutely amazing. And there is this couple of side character in this movie, uh, their backstory, and the way they unfold their story. It is quite interesting. That being said, yeah, this movie, all this twist and turn, especially once we go to the middle and the third act, it gets a little bit tiring. You are like, whoa, what is going on? And there is some cameo from some actor. I think he's from I think Japan. That is what I was looking into. This actor, like he's from there, and all this conspiracy. I was like, I have to be honest in my review, I was little confused beginning of this movie. I was like, whoa. The biggest problem was for me to be confused, nothing with the movie, because this movie wasn't dubbed in English. So you have to read the subtitle. Sometimes reading can be hard to like keep track of what is happening on a screen. That is why I was like, at the beginning of this, because it's not dubbed, so I was a little confused. And although as it went on, all the twist and turn, as I was saying, it got little tiring. But the way this movie ends, it is quite heart touching, I will say. Like the way it ends, I was like, I did not see it coming. Especially the last act, I was like, really, it was really heartbreaking, honestly. I was like, then again, I did not see it coming. I was really surprised the way it ends. That's what I'm gonna say. Some of the scene in this movie is actually quite, it's so good the way it was done. It is, especially this agent. Like this was one of my favorite scene in this movie. Like it just tells you how the characters are written in this like two agent, one agent invite him to the other agent to his house, and the wife comes in and she's like, oh, are you my husband's best friend? And then he says like, no, I'm not. He's trying to prosecute me so many times. I was like, whoa, that is like there is so many sweet scene like that in this movie. However, as I was saying, all this twist turn, it was getting little tiring, a little bit. Probably because again, it wasn't that version I'm watching. So I do think some people will really love this movie, because if you like this kind of spy thriller, although the beginning of this movie, I wasn't sure who's the bad guy. I was like, whoa. Maybe it gives you a little weight, like you think, you see it, like they are hiding something, these two agents, but you're not sure what it is. But once it revealed to us what was happening, I was like, whoa. Overall, I did found this movie to be quite interesting. And some people will really like this movie. But if you don't like a lot of twist and turn and all this thing happening on screen, sometimes did get like a lot of stuff is happening. We're like, whoa, it was hard to keep track on. This movie does have a huge cast, so like, But end of it, I will say I overall really like this movie because you know the spy thriller these days, everything is very predictable. This movie, it's something you can watch it on Netflix. That is, I'm gonna say. I don't know what if people watched it in theater, it might be a little hard to keep track on because gets puzzly. But if you watched it at your home, I think it's good to time. And that's my thought on this. Let me know in the comment what do you think about this movie. And if you enjoyed this review, don't forget to check out other reviews on other Korean movie and TV show. If you enjoy this, please subscribe. Until I see you next time, please take care.